بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. فضيلة رئيس أو مدير غامبيا هاي سكول، وفضيلة الشيخ الأستاذ خليفة، وفضيلة الشيخ عمر جامع، وفضيلة الشيخ عثمان كمرة، والإخوة المشاهدون والمحاضرون، والإخوة الطلاب والطالبات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, His peace and blessing be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was sent to all mankind. The principal of Gambia High School, Al-Ustad, the second vice principal of Gambia High School, Al-Ustad Omar Drame, my brother and my mate and my college at the Islamic University of Medina, Khalifa Fati, and my college at the University of the Gambia, Uthman Kamara, and others, other lecturers, other teachers, other mentors in Gambia High School, students of Gambia High School, and others. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is second time for my humble self to visit this wonderful school. The first time when I was a student in Sudan, I was doing my high school there. Yes, for the first time. That was the first time. And this one is the second time. So I'm telling you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The importance of knowledge, Islamic knowledge, in the life of Muslim, in the life of students, is very essential, very important. Knowledge and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala constitute the foundation of Islam. That's why the scholar, the Albert Einstein, this is a Nobel Prize winner. He said knowledge or religion without belief is lame. Belief is without religion is blind. So that's why science and knowledge, they have symbiotic relations between them. The first 5 verses revealed to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will show you that fact. And Islam said, the first 5 verses to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah said, "Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaqal insan min 'alaq, iqra wa rabbuka al-akram, alladhi 'allama bil qalam, 'allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam." Read in the name of your Lord, who created what? He didn't tell us. We will talk about it, inshallah. Who created man from thick coagulated blood. Read, and your Lord is bountiful. Your Lord is generous. Your Lord is magnanimous. Read, and your Lord is bountiful. has taught the use of the pen. Read, and your Lord is bountiful, who has taught the writing by the pen. Who has taught man what he knows not? So these are the first 5 verses to reveal to Prophet Muhammad. His origin, Prophet Muhammad. Think that when this verse is revealed to Prophet Muhammad, that time Prophet Muhammad was 40 years. So this is a real letter, a real message to all mankind to do their endeavor, to do their uttermost strive in order to grasp knowledge. This, his ummah, will enter to this one. Read. Our scholars in the غامبيا, when they taught us about this ayah or this ayah, they said, Allah said read twice. Why? This is very important. The first one, Allah said read in the name of your Lord. The second one, read. First one, read. It has a complement. It has a connection with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the universe, the sole sustainer, the sole creator of the universe. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Read in his name. This message means that the first thing, we should start our educational career by knowing God, by knowing our Creator, by knowing the sole sustainer of the universe. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inyayele kukane mone dunya fonyoto kane nene kana la ramba sofene inyante dana kilal tilol betambileta to safaro nyasoto wato ite fantinko kefato inyante dana kilal. Now read. Read what? The name of your Lord, the creator of the universe, the sole sustainer, and the sole creator, and who is more concerned about our welfare than ourselves. That's why you should start, the first thing, you should start your educational career with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll tell you why. So the second thing is read. That is to, after knowing Allah, after knowing his injunctions, after knowing his prohibitions, you can read. You can read whatever you want. That can benefit you. That can benefit your country. That can benefit the mankind at large. So here, read why you read. Read, he said, in the name of your Lord who created. This verse, حقيقة هذه الآية الكريمة مع بيانها ومعنى صاعها ومعنى صاعتها لم تذكر لنا الخلق. خلق من؟ خلق ماذا؟ قال علماء البلاغة إنما حذف لنعلم أن كل ما هو سوى الله فهو من مخلوقات الله. The scholars in Arabic rhetoric, they say here Allah said khalaqa, created. Who created? Created what? He didn't tell us this verse. They say so that we can know that everything other than Allah is part of his creations. Being jinn, being saint, being an angel, being anything. You can think or you cannot think about it. It's part of Allah's creation. So they shouldn't be worshipped. That the worshipping, why read? You read to worship. Even your reading is part of worshipping. The wonderful recitations that we had here is part of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's an act of worship. Then this is the first thing that we should start to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Read. You read everything, anything that can benefit you, can benefit your country. That's why in Islam, the scholars, they divided knowledge into two categories. First one, obligatory knowledge, and the second one, optional knowledge. Obligatory knowledge is to know Allah, to know His injunctions, to know His commandments, and adhere to it, act it, do it, to know His prohibitions and shun it. And shun it. Abstain yourself from it. So these are the two things. They said why? Why we should start by the name of God? It will be our safeguard in this world. From fraud, from nepotism, from embezzlement, from any kind of things. Because if you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you'll fear Allah. إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. Those who fear Allah among His slaves are those who knew Him. If you don't know Allah, you will play with Him. As in Mandinka, iko dinne wali tulunta jatola. Iba tulunta jato fenyola. Akoya alman long alinga ta suokoro. Idada sudala kebai haida betul. Akaya adala kajun jatola. Kebai borda. Akoya nyine yello ma ja borda ma borda. Allahu Inyayele kukane mone dunia fonyoto kanene. Kanala ramba sofene inyante dena kilal tilol betambile tato safaro nyasoto wato ite fantinko kefato inyante dena kilal kana kumo kesiroti yetasa inkesinoti yetanya toke naroti inyante dena kilal. Read. Allahu. Why read? By reading, you will know it will broaden your horizon in this world. You will know your importance in this world. You will know as you are the most honorable creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is a man. That's why when he said, created, who created? Created what? He said, created man. Created man. Man, just, if you read the book, that is called Animal Farm. And it's a single word, but it means human being. Yes, if you read the book, I think some of you read it. Those who are, I think you should read it. Oh, you didn't read it? Yes. Who read Animal Farm? Nobody, huh? Animal Farm by George Orwell. Very essential book. So this book, he said man. He just put it in brackets. Here, man means human being. He created the man from thick coagulated blood. Thick coagulated blood. Here, the scholar said, this verse is talking about human embryo. That is, it is indicating, it is pointing, it is exhorting human beings, Muslims especially, to seek knowledge, which is called embryology. But this is to see this ummah. Those to whom Allah sent this great message, to see them, when they want to know embryology, they resort to West. The Western universities. If you want to know embryology today, you should go to America, you should go to France, you should go to England, you should go to France. It's a survey. It's a real survey. At ancient time, Islamic scholars, they are the builders of human civilization, Islamic civilization. Scholars in science, Muslims, they are the builders of science, scientific knowledge in Islam, in Baghdad and Cordoba. They are scholars, Europeans at medieval time. They don't know those things. It was known by Muslims. Muslims, they are the astronomers. They are the inventors of watches, watch, at the time. They are the erudite scholars in terms of medicine. Qanun, written by Ibn Sina, is called in West, known in the West as Afsina, Qanun in medicine. The man who has written logarithm in mathematics is a Muslim. Ibn Rushd, his books. Those books are still now references of European universities. So now we are lacking on Europeans, while the Quran manifested from the first 5 verses to tell you, to indicate to you, to point to you, to seek knowledge of embryology. Who created man from thick coagulated blood. Read what? He didn't tell us. Read about carpentry, midwifery, medicine, anything, English language, French language, Mandinka language. I know nobody is here who is specialized in Mandinka language. It should be there. Find out. Are we too bad? We are not too bad. That's why I will tell you that we are talking about independence. What kind of independence? What kind of independence you are talking? This is not a political forum, but I have to tell the truth that we are not independent. Still now we are dependent. They are dependent to them. Because of why? They formulated our countries in a way that we cannot survive without them. We are consumers of everything. Even these fans, we cannot be able to make it. These microphones, we cannot be able to make it. They taught us how to read, how to write, and how to speak in order to facilitate communication between us and them. They obliterated our languages. That's why when you talk about Mandinka language, or you talk to Mandinka language, you will feel in the parliament, people will look at you in a way that you will understand that I did something very wrong. In the parliament here is very, very, very near. If you are speaking one of there in the platform, they will look at you. They will not look, they will stare. Why you are looking at this language? La ilaha illallah. Our national languages are deliberately excluded in order to facilitate communication. While the Quran said read, and they didn't tell you English language. Read, not French language. Vous parlez français. Vous parlez français, hein? He didn't tell you that. Read anything that will benefit you in your own country. Let me tell you that Singapore, as they say, Gambia was more advanced than Singapore. But today, between Singapore and the Gambia, like between the earth and the sky. I'm sorry to say, this is a fact. Malaysia, if you go there, they are learning their language. They are up to doctorate. Even Nairobi here, Kenya, they are Muswahili, Kiswahili, up to university level, up to doctorate, up to PhD. Indonesia. Now Indonesia is making things, sending to us here. So why we cannot put our national languages to the curriculum? Now some mothers, even they are very, I'm really sorry to say that, but this is a fact. Some mothers are very keen to speak to their kids English language. Child, in the child. What about your language? I can't take off and then tell a tongue. Woman can it. You can't. Yes. So this is a real song. Ni kaya yala kakao foe ni sinaje ikiba ni dinda school to sinaje ila kama se for is a angalemo. This Astaghfirullah. This is a not mistake, but miss and take. I'm telling you, it's not a mistake. It's miss and take. You miss something and you take something else. Yes. Then let us come to the verses. خلق الإنسان من علق. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. وربك الأكرم. This is a wonderful letter that if you read, you will see the benefit of your reading one day. But not only the whole life will benefit from it. Anything. Do it diligently, hardworking somebody. Be hardworking somebody. You'll see the benefit. You reap the benefit. Either you are a boy or you are a girl. Karama nini mamomone. Ikodolu safale kolon. Namuntana fuluti. Kane mitali ifantanka jalairola. Na fulu kemoni iyala mo fulo tema walibet ifanga fota kemela yemelde bet kemesotola landa kemoni iya la mo fulo tema walibet kemesoto kemoni la tesekela. This is knowledge. So the most important thing, that is the knowledge. That's why he said your blood is bountiful. He will give you. He will give you. Either you ask or you didn't ask. That's why one of the verses, he said, وَيَرْفَعَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. Allah will raise to high ranks those who are bestowed knowledge. أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. They will have their ranks here. At the sake of for the Quranic, I want to congratulate those who recited the Holy Quran, who committed the Quran to their memories. You have to retain it. The day of judgment, when people are entering Al-Jannah, the Quranic men, Quranic women, they don't have a special place in Al-Jannah. It's a good story, eh? It's a good story. They don't have, maybe others they will tell you, this is your place, this is your residence, this is your place, this is your Al-Jannah. It's a Al-Jannah, Jamba kutobe kereari inyante nakila. So they will tell them, this is your place, this is your. For the reciter of the Quran, either you committed it or you don't committed it. If you committed it into your memory, it's better, because that day you will not have mushaf to read it. They will tell you, read. Any verse you stop, that will be your home, your abode, your compound. So if you read the first verse, you have first floor in Al-Jannah. The second verse, second floor. Third verse, third floor. Fourth verse, So if you continue like 100 verse, 100 floor. That is. يقولون اقرأ ورتل فإن منزلتك عند آخر آية تقف عندها. Read and continue reciting, because your compound, your place will be, your residence will be the last verse that you will start. Whenever you stop, you ascend to another floor. You read, you ascend to another floor. You read, you ascend to another floor, till you have your birth. So this is very, very important for the Muslim. This is showing you part of the importance of Islamic knowledge. That those who didn't know how to read the Quran, there is not a failure in their life, but I will tell you, it's a total fiasco. It's not a failure. Ask your English and literature about this world. It's a total fiasco. If you cannot read the Quran, it's a total failure. If you cannot read Quran, so to know the Quran means you are one of the wonderful creatures beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe people will not consider you. That's why Islamic knowledge is the first thing that Muslims should seek. I have told you, they divided knowledge into two categories. First category is the obligatory one. That is to know Allah, to know His injunctions, to know His awamir, to believe in Him, to know how to recite the Quran. Those who cannot be able to recite the Quran, it's a total failure. Go and read. I know some of you, if I say raise your hands, I don't want to point finger to anybody. There are some people, they are intruders, one can say, among us here. They cannot be able to read the Quran. It's a big thing. At this level, why? Why you cannot? Don't say, my father. Yes, we can blame the father and mother if they didn't send you to a school. If they didn't send you to a Quranic school. They didn't send you to Dara. But there are, you will take part of the blame. Now you are grown up. All of you. You are grown up students. And you are responsible for yourselves in the day of judgment. I told you, these 5 verses came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam while he is 40 years. How many of you transcend 40 years? How many of you is above 40 years? You can say none. But how many can read the Quran? That's why I told you, this is a total fiasco. Go and ask your mentor about the world. Then read. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. He said, الذي علم بالقلم. علم بالقلم. He has taught the use of the pen. He has taught the use of the pen. They said the first person to read, to write, is the first person. But I will talk to you, I'll talk about the pen when it started writing. But the first person in the world who started writing, according to scholars, is the Prophet Enoch. It's called Idris. First person. He's after Adam. A little while after Adam. I don't think he's a son of Adam, but it's after Adam. That is before Noah, alayhi salam. So this is the first person to write. In the hadith, أول ما خلق الله القلم قال اكتب قال ما أكتب قال اكتب مقادير كل شيء إلى يوم القيامة. He said, the first thing that Allah created is the pen. Allah ordered the pen, commanded the pen to write, and the pen asked Allah what I should write. The pen told him, Allah told the pen, write everything that will happen to the day of judgment. This is the first thing. Yes, the scholars, they have differences about the first thing that Allah created. There are three sayings. The first thing that Allah created is the pen. The first thing that Allah created is the light of the Prophet Muhammad. The first thing that Allah created is Arsh, the mighty throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah, subhanallah. The first thing that Allah created is the light of Prophet Muhammad, say Nur Prophet Muhammad. And this came in hadith, which is not authentic according to scholars, that one of the disciples asked Prophet Muhammad, what is the first thing that Allah created? Prophet told him, the first thing that Allah created is Nuru Nabiyika. ما أول ما خلق الله قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أو سئل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من قبل أحد الصحابة ما أول ما خلق الله قال نور نبيك. نور نبيك. That is the light of your prophet. But scholars said this hadith is not authentic, but they said this hadith, prophet didn't say it. So we will exclude Nur Nabi. Even though that we have here in the Gambia, that some people, they believe that yes, the first thing that Allah created is the light of Prophet Muhammad. Nara folota kamu medar latentu hamdan kathiran dandulatala. But that is not authentic. I'm sorry to say this because we have some scholars who are saying in Camus and other areas that the first thing that Allah created is the light of Prophet Muhammad. But this in hadith, the hadith is not authentic. Maybe they knew or they didn't know. And I'm really sorry if it affects anybody. So that is. So we will exclude that. The first thing that Allah created, we have two things now. Arsh, that is the mighty throne of Allah, and the pen. So what the scholars say is this, Arsh, there's a hadith that talks about it, but they say the first thing that Allah created, which is most of the scholars, they say is the pen. As aforesaid, that Allah ordered the pen to write everything that will happen to the day of judgment. Because Allah knew what will happen. What will happen before the creation. Before Allah created anything, He knew what will happen. And what will never happen. If it happens, how it will happen. How it will be happen. Alima ma kana wa ma yakunu wa ma la yakunu law kana kayfa kana yakun. Huwa Allah. Inyaya laku kanemone dunia fanyoto kanene. Kana la ramba sofene inyate denakila kana kumo kesiroti yata sain kesinoti yatanya toke naroti inyate denakila. So depend. So now it is three levels. The first thing that Allah created is the pen. The second thing that Allah created is Arsh, his mighty throne. The third thing Allah created is water. After creation of water, everything Allah created has an element of water in it. The earth, and the heavens, and other things that Allah created from it. لذلك الآية تقول وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي. Every living thing was created from the water. From water. So that is. The first thing that Allah created is the brain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about three things that we should be very careful in our educational career. It will show you the importance of knowledge, especially Islamic knowledge. The problem is here in the Gambia. People they don't start with Dara, they don't start with Daras or Madrasas or Islamic or Quranic schools, or even try Majlis and other things, or Karantaro. They don't start with it, they start with nursing school. One of my mentors, or her mentor, is called Nonsense School. Because you are sending, I'm telling you, you are sending your kids to somebody who is normally a non-Muslim. Most of the schools, most of the nursing schools still now, they are constructed by non-Muslims. And non-Muslims, you send them to teach you who didn't believe in like your belief. Even if he said he has a belief, no, she has a belief. He has something that he believes or she believes. It's not your religion. So if you turn away, I'm telling you this is the truth. If you turn away your boy, your girl, your kid from knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will turn them off from you when they grown up. That's why we are saying, I'm not pointing a finger to anybody, that we are saying if they are grade 12 in the higher rankers, they'll go to Bufut Badala and, with their wives. I'm really sorry. With their wives. And the father who did most for him and pay his school. Among it Gambia High School, I'm sorry, among the schools that he paid for that boy. When he is grade 12, grade 15, grade 15 and grade 20, grade 18. He will go and construct how do they call it? A huge house. They call skyscrapers. He will do this, or not only one-story building, but 2 or 3 or 4-story building, enjoying himself and his wife. The father who did Goswas still now is still doing Goswas in those areas. I'm telling you, Goswas that has been there. But still now, whenever you want to visit him, he's in his office. I'm really sorry to say this. We are not pointing finger at anybody. You see here, he's always taking a long time. Tell him, this is my father. Tell him, I am busy. I have friends. We have meeting. Official meeting. You know why? Because you don't teach him about Allah. That's why those who know the Quran, they have that mercy in their hearts for their fathers and mothers. They help them. The little that they have. They are not high rankers. That's why most of the scholars, most of the ummahat, whenever I have like this محاضرة for them, let me say this in Mali. Aliyadin nyomuli beri dundi Qur'ani karamala. Alal hakilo ta bella banna walla qul. If you see one later, I'm really sorry to say this. No, those who didn't know Allah. I know who know Allah, they are doing their service and that service to their families. That is very clear. We don't point finger to anybody, but this is the fact. You know why? If you turn the heart of the boy and the mind of the boy or a girl from Allah during childhood, Allah will turn off his heart from you after he's grown up. That's why Allah said, "Qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara." You have to protect yourself and your family from the fire, from the hellfire. That's why خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Allah. That's it. So the first thing that Allah created is the brain. So scholars, they said there are three things that retains knowledge. Writing, that is the pen, which shows the importance of the pen. Record keeping and reading. Reading, as we know. Record keeping, writing, this is very important. That's why we now reading the Quran, the same Quran as it was revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But we Africans, I'm really sorry, we don't read. The problem, we don't read. Who is ready to read this book one day? Nobody. Here, I mean. Yes. Some are raising their fingers. We can do a test. Who is ready to read it? Maybe 1 week. You cannot have it. Who is ready to? We Africans, as they say, we listen a lot. We read. Yes, but we don't read. Asians, normally they read a lot than listening. Europeans, they read and write. That's why they are ahead of us. And this will be a continuous process, I'm telling you. So these are the three tools. All these three tools are in the Quran. Read, write, retain the record. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون الله هذا نون. Only God knows the meaning of this verse. This is part of the miraculous thing that the Arabs, they are saying we are rhetoric. نحن أهل الفصاحة والبلاغة والألسن فأنزل الله القرآن يتحداهم في ذلك. Allah is defying us to bring. He defied all jinn and ins to bring the Quran, same as Quran. They failed. Allah also, He reduced the challenge. أم يقولون افتراه. They said, Prophet Muhammad fabricated this Quran, and forged it. Allah said, bring 10 surahs. You can forge 10 surahs and bring it. Subhanallah, he failed. The challenge, مثله مفتريات, those which are fabricated, bring 10 surahs, they failed. The challenge was reduced to one verse, to one surah. It was reduced to one verse. They failed. It was reduced to one single letter. They refused. Some people they failed. Like Musaylimat al-Kadhab. It is not in Salma the Kujab, Musaylimat al-Kadhab. It's that, فَالْآكِلَاتِ أَكْلًا وَالشَّارِبَاتِ شَارِبًا. They failed. Those people who started or tried, they failed. So you cannot be able to complete the Quran. That's why Allah said, Noon. Only Allah knows the meaning. So if you said Muhammad Fujit, you can fudge the same thing and give something which is very similar to Noon. They failed. Sad, Alif Lam Mim, Kaf, Ha Ya Ayn Sad, Alif Lam Mim Sad, Alif Lam Mim Ra, Alif Lam Ra, Yasin, Taha, Hamim, Qaf, والقرآن المجيد. They failed. They failed. So it's impossible. That's why Morris Bukai, he looked at the Quran. He said, this is impossible. If the man is the author of the Quran, how comes to write the things that are the scientific facts in the 7th century that are not assailable in the viewpoint of science today? Maurice Bucaille, they call it Maurice Bucaille, Le People, le Coran et la Science. This is the book he wrote. Yes. The Bible, the science, the Bible, the Quran, and science. يعني الإنجيل والقرآن والعلم. كتاب كتبه عالم فرنسي. He was a surgeon. He was a medical doctor. He's a Dr. Maurice Bucaille. He did some scientific investigation about why Pharaoh, his body is still now not changed. It's not decomposed, as they say. So why? And some of the Muslims, they told him, but this is the Quran. Al-Quran says, today we will save your body so that you can be a sign of the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For those who will come after, for generation who will come after you, ورعاه. Because he said, أنا ربكم الأعلى. I am your Lord, the greatest one. And this is what he said. فأجر الله النهر في رأسه. Inyaya leku kanemone, inya fonyoto kanene, kanala ramba sofene, inyante dena kila nun. والقلم وما يسطرون. He said by the pen and the record that they write. So this is record keeping, وما يسطرون, what they write. Scholars said what they write is pointing to angels. Some said no, it's pointing to human beings. What we write, the day of judgment, we will be asked about what you write. You have to know today. You have to know too. You have to be careful of yourself. What do you write in the Google? When you want to Googleize, you want to browse, what you write, the day of judgment you will be asked about it. Be careful when you write to him, or when you are writing to her. You have to be very careful. The words that you are using. One day, you will be asked about it. وما من كاتب إلا سيفنى ويبقي الدهر ما كتبت يداه فلا تكتب يمينك غير شيء يسرك في القيامة أن تراه. Yes, he said all the writers will be finished in this world, and the world, the generation you're writing will be retained for generations. So you should be careful not to write something that you will not be happy if you see it in the day of judgment. Malaika jato memeno ma nyante mira Yesula wa manyamfala sinola nyante denakila ibata taifatata imamata taimutata ite fantin ko memanta nyante denakila la. So writing is very dangerous. When you Google it, they're up. والقلم وما يسطرون, what they write. They said angels. You have two angels here. The right one, on the right hand, he will write good things. The left one will write bad things. So be very careful. Not to write something, the day of judgment, you will say you regret it. So we have to be careful. This is part of your job. When you Google it, they will start writing it, jotting down the main points. Yes. Angels I'm talking about. وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ, and what they write. وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ, satara in Arabic, that is right. Record that they write. They are put in there in a place waiting for you. That's why in the day of judgment, your book will come to you. This is your work. This is your work. Do you deny it? Can you deny a single word in this? You don't have to say anything. Now here in Dunya Nas, now man can do fouls, many fouls. At the end, he will take a lawyer and he will be. All of us, we know that he is a thief. He is a thief man. He just take a lawyer, and the lawyers, they are very, very erudite lawyers, and they defend him. At the end, they said he in the court. What a lakira. Lakira. Nothing like that. What you did net by net, neck and neck, as they said in French. Nothing like that. So, Maestro, and the angels, there are said two angels are many. These two who are writing for you. Others are writing what you will, your daily errand, what you will do. For example, early morning, they'll go to Lawh al-Mahfuz and know what you will read. They will record it. Early morning subh prayer, there are two groups of angels. Morning shift, you know, غامبيا, we have morning shift and afternoon shift. In the angels area also, there is a morning shift and afternoon shift. I'm telling you. Morning shift, they will come at Fajr prayer. That's why this is a big loss. For those who are not witnessing Fajr prayer, they are snoring. When snoring. Yes. While you are snoring, and they are the Salat khair min an-nawm. Salat khair min an-nawm. You didn't wake up. The angels will come to record those who witness Fajr prayer and also Asr prayer. Angels will come to record those who witness Asr prayer in the mosque. Those who record Fajr prayer, they will start their journey or their errand at evening. For example, they will come at Asr. Those who witness Fajr, they will remain there up to Asr. So they will collide together and they will pray with Muslims. When Allah asks them, they will say, "Ataynahum wa hum yusallun, wa taraknahum wa hum yusallun." We came to them, we found them praying, and we left them. They are praying. So those who are, that is for those who are in the evening. Those who are in the morning, they will end up at Asr prayer. If they are asked by Allah, Allah said, they will tell Allah, "We came to them while we found them praying, and we left them found them praying." So that's why this salah is very, very important. All salah. For women, alhamdulillah, Allah gave them liberty to Masjid Baytiha. Even the scholars, some scholars is better. It's better than mosque. For the lady to pray Fajr, Asr, Dhuhr, Maghrib in her own house, in her own place, own ghurfa, is better than to go to the mosque. according to some scholars. But if she volunteer to go to the mosque, she will have the same reward as men. That should be clear. That if she went to the mosque, she go to the mosque, she will reap the same reward as men. So these are the things that we should be very, very, our actions also, the knowledge should show the behavior, good behavior. I'm sorry, I'm going to hijab. Some people are taking hijab, alhamdulillah, we are all hijab, they have all hijabs. Hijab doesn't mean headscarf. Hijab means to conceal your beauty from men, that you are not married. This is the first thing of hijab. But hijab is not for men only. Men also, they have some hijab for all. Hijab for men and women. Allah said, قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم ويحفظوا فروجهم ذلك أزكى لهم. Tell believers, that is men, women, believing men, tell believing men, to lower their gaze, not to look to forbidden things, not to look to the girls. ويحفظوا فروجهم, and also protect or guard their modesty. So the same thing, وَقُلِّ الْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُرْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ. Tell females, believing females, to lower their gaze, not to look to boys. And they should protect or guard their modesty from any kind of sexual intercourse which is not under the marriage. Right? So that is it. So there is criteria for hijab. The clothes should not be transparent. This is for men and women. They are the same. It shouldn't be see-through. As you know, see-through, see apparent. Yes. It shouldn't be like that for men and women. It shouldn't be tight for men and women. Yes. It shouldn't be glamorous so that it can attract the other sex. It's haram for men and women. Those men who are boys who are taking tight jeans, this tight jeans is haram. Yes. So that is. So the clothes also cannot resemble other sex clothes. For example, clothes for women, it cannot be worn by men. Clothes for men, yes, and height. Clothes for men cannot be worn by women. Clothes for women cannot be worn by men. So that is. And hijab of the heart, hijab of behavior, how to talk to men is a hijab. When you have a good hijab, when you want to talk with me, see, and you are under the hijab. This shouldn't be done. And men as well. Yes. You should say salam to them in a way, not tuning. Yes. So all these things we have to be very careful. Thank you very much. I think we have time. We have come to the end of this program. We have entered to this program. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This is very fantastic. And Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Umar Drame, he told me to elaborate more about this